Hello and very warm welcome from Dr. Zia Ahmed. Welcome to YouTube channel Dr. Zia Ahmed. Today I'm going to record a very short video on the concept of decolonization, which has become very much necessary to talk about and discuss because of the current contemporary political turmoil going on in Pakistan. The reason of this condition of Pakistan, not only in politics but also in many other socio-political areas, cultural areas of Pakistan, is that decolonization has not taken place altogether. I may remind my audience that in 1947, the process of decolonization started, which meant that the British colonizer would move out of this South Asia and many other formerly Britain colonized colonies and the states and the countries, and they will leave the country free and independence. But the process somehow was carried on in such a way that it could not decolonize itself. The process of going out of the British was called decolonization, but it could not take place as it should have been. Same was the case with Pakistan as well, although Pakistan has got a different history, because at that time when decolonization was taking place, Pakistan did not exist. It came into being in 1947 at that very moment when decolonization started. Perhaps that is the reason that decolonization in its true letter and spirit could not take place. But there are multiple other reasons as well. For example, the Britain left this area, of course, physically, but their legacies are still there. The legacies of Britain system of politics, of parliament, of education, of many other financial and social institutions, the system is still existing. And we have been following that system, and we have not tried to, or attempted at least to change that system for our own benefit and purpose, and that is why decolonization in complete letter and spirit could not take place. Fanon, Franz Fanon, the famous scholar, on the other hand, also says that this decolonization could not take place because we did not fight for our independence, freedom. Our freedom and independence was bestowed by the white colonizer to us, and we did not fight him in order to throw him out, and that is why decolonization of the mind has not so far taken place. Same was the case with Ngugi, who also prompted the similar kind of idea that we people need to decolonize our minds in order to become independent and free people. For this purpose, he has suggested a number of things, and one of the important things was the language. He said that we are still using the language of the master. We are writing in his style, and we are trying to please him through our writings. So our representations in literature, our narrative are not 100% free, and that is why they are called post-colonial. That is why decolonization of mind is very much required. Dear students and audience, in Pakistan, it is very much essential to decolonize the system, because we are, or we want to be, an independent and free nation. After 75 years of our time of nationhood, we are still standing at the same place. We have not tried to change our systems, political, education. Look at education, for example. All the systems of education are running at least more or less according to Lord Macaulay given system. We have not been revising our syllabi. We have not been preparing our children in order to become free and independent minds. We are not allowing them to ask the question. And we are creating academic feudals in our society. And as a result, whoever diverges or dissents from that ideology of the academic feudal, that person is, put aside and is not given any importance. So that is why the system of education, first of all, needs to be revamped. Syllabi needs to be changed. The process of teaching, of giving information and involving your students need to be changed. I don't say that we should run away from the word, but I should say that we should take care of our cultural values, religious values, social systems, and our heritage, which is not only British colonized heritage, but also we have our own individual heritage as well. Every person living in Pakistan belongs to some area or the other and has got his own heritage. And all those heritages can be combined together to make one culture that should be called Pakistani culture. Only then the solution of our problems can come there. And I also think that decolonization of mind could have better taken place if the politicians of Pakistan might have played a very significant role. But unfortunately, and alack, they have not played the same role. They are still following the model of a powerful politician, which was actually the necessity of the colonizing master. It is not the necessity of our politician, because they are one of us and we are now out of that colonization. At that time, the British colonizer, politician, believed, or administrator, believed that if he is powerful, if he can make a show of powerful, if he can threaten the people with his power, if he can amass a large amount of wealth with him, people will be obeying him. That was a colonizing area, that was the colonizing era, and the people really were afraid of these people. But now it's not the case. Why not to change our mind setup? Why not to change our approach towards democracy and towards our people? If our politicians can do this, definitely they will promote this ideology that Pakistani are a free nation and politicians are their representatives, and the politicians come out of them and they are here to serve their nation, not to amass wealth and not to become powerful. But alas, at this moment the situation is the same. So not only politician or political system needs to be changed, our educational academic systems also need to be changed, not only to bring a very healthy, very powerful nation in order to inherit us, but also in order to give a healthy material, positive material, or the things which are necessary to our new generation in the classrooms and outside of the classroom. The reality bitter is now, even today, a foreign faculty, foreign qualified person is preferred to the locally or indigenously qualified person. I want to ask a question that since 1947, we have a lot of faculty members who went out of Pakistan, completed the degrees in the foreign countries and came back here. Are we going to doubt their qualification? Are we going to put some restrictions on their qualification when they in return produce someone here equal to them or according to their education? We don't accept them equal to those foreign faculties, and so much so that even in seminars and conferences, the foreign faculty is given a lot of preference, a lot of money is spent upon them, and actually, I'm sorry to say, net gain is equal to zero. In my country, there are lots of people who are so much well qualified, so much expert in their field, they can better perform in their speeches, in their lectures, in their conferences as compared to these foreign people. And especially our audience wants to listen to them. Why not to follow them? And these are the ways through which we can decolonize our education as well. Well, I have no objection in using English language. I have no objection in writing literatures in English, but I equally support use of local indigenous languages and writing narratives in them, literary narratives in them. That should be equally prompted, because that is what very much necessary to change our minds, which is still colonized. We need to bring decolonization in our minds, in our approaches, in our cultural, social, political institutions. If it is done, lots of issues will be automatically solved. So the time has now come that not only the political system should be decolonized, but also the educational system should be decolonized, and our literary, teaching, education and training systems should be decolonized. If it is done, I don't say that just within 2-3 years it will be possible, but somewhere we need to have a start. Once it is started, people would love this decolonization, because everyone needs one's own identity. Everyone needs one's own views to be given and scattered here without any punishment or fear of punishment at all. So that is why people would love that, students would love that, and in that way the nation would earn respect and honor in the community of nations. I'm again saying that I'm not against the cooperation with the world, but at least as the other people in developed countries, in many other countries, they have decolonized their minds and they have their own philosophy according to their culture, according to their needs, according to their habits, according to their living styles. They have their own philosophy and ideology. Same should Pakistani people have. Once it is done, the mind would be decolonized. Greater, powerful minds would be grown up here who will lead the nation, who would bring this nation at par with the developed countries of the world. So that is why decolonization should occur. Decolonization of mind should occur in literature, in teaching, and in political systems as well. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some other video.